Hello, my name is Irina and I'm certified open yoga teacher. Let me welcome you to the site yogaopenyoga.com and let me welcome you to the course about the first and the second principle of yoga, or the fundamental principles of yoga. I have heard some references and feedback that finally we are up to the topics of yoga more detailed, and that was something that people were expecting for. So hope you are also among them, and we can discuss more. We managed to discuss the first principle of yoga. We managed to discuss the second principle of yoga, getting the first insight in each of them, as well as a little bit deeper. And we come to the notion of the Dharma. Today we are going to talk about the contradictions of the first two principles. Is it possible? What should we do? And how this all come, and how we could improve our understanding of the topic. Thereby, the contradictions between these two yoga principles are possible, and this is the role of karma, or the law of causes and consequences that we are facing in our life, because we live in a plane of karma and in the plane of logic. If we did something, some actions, then it brings certain result. And the more we have done unsuitable things that we ourselves don't like, the more we have kind of made the rules in our life that are not the ones that we like. Thereby finding our Dharma is getting more difficult, or we are getting the least possible joy we could and the happiness, and we get a lot of troubles on our way, because kind of imagine we had a clear road and we would bring a large stones on them. Some would be sharp, some round, but anyway, those are the obstacles, and moving on this way is getting very difficult. Or imagine two mountains close together. You can't really cross them going over, or you could, but it takes a lot of pressure, and they're very, very narrow, the valley between them, and it's very kind of making many turns and taking a lot of time and effort to get through. So this is the path that we are looking for, and this is our Dharma. Analyze the situation. How do you feel? Are you on a kind of a big road that is taking you directly to your goals, or maybe this is some wrong way or dead end where you are at the moment? And there are always possibilities, and sometimes the possibility is to return back, or you are on the road with many stones, many obstacles, many walls probably that are pretty difficult to climb over. This situation will pretty much tell you about your current karma situation. Doesn't matter how you assess. Sometimes we see a small stone or big road, and we're so much concentrated on it that we don't see that we can just step it over or go from one or the other side. We're so focused on it that we are thinking that all the problems of the world are on our head. That's not really correct. So depending on your situation, make the conclusions. See what's the situation, and it will help you in understanding yourself. Use as many indicators as possible, because whenever there will be a wish for you to analyze the situation, the life is giving the possibilities to do it. As soon as there is the wish for something, there will be a conditions, as yoga says, for you to accomplish it. And if your wish is to see what's your karma like, it's not written somewhere up there. It's more or less, not more or less, it's all inside you, and it takes time to do it. Answer yourself. ask yourself essential questions and get yourself essential answers. Thereby, if there is a question, there is an answer. And don't fall in a trap that you would kind of think that, oh, if somebody did this and they got this result, then the same situation is going to happen with me. Because they have their own dharma, they have their own prehistory. They might have some skills that you don't possess, and you might have some skills that they don't do. So see what you are good at, assess your kind of positive sides and negative sides. Be open to yourself. A little bit of criticism, but in a positive way, will tell a lot about you. You can use their life and their example, their ideas as kind of pointers, but decision is yours, and this is your life that you are living. So it's a good thing to think about. So we came to kind of a notion that you really need to have a good understanding of the first two yoga principles. I hope you know them by heart. That in order to kind of catch the concept of dharma. Dharma is, as we discussed, it's wide, it has multiple meanings, multiple definitions. A lot of things are dependent on the context. When you will start understanding and feeling the first two principles that you do on the path of yoga, and when you practice yoga, then you will understand your duty. You might remember that sometimes we are replacing the word dharma in the definition of the first yoga principle with the duty, just in order to kind of avoid Sanskrit or some terms that people who are new to yoga would not understand. However, dharma is far more bigger than just the concept of the duty, but out of the dharma we get the duty, and if we understand our duty, we can define our goals. The second principle, you remember, we define our goals, the ones that we want to have and accomplish, and then we kind of get rid of everything that is kind of keeping us away from reaching our goals. When we know the goals, we choose the actions. We go our way and we work, and we get the results. When we have the result, we again analyze the situation, and we kind of make a circle round in order to understand the first and the second principle again better. So you see, in the very beginning there are two yoga principles, at the very end there are two yoga principles. Only the understanding of them, of the same principles, change on the way while we are doing our dharma and following our duty, defining our goals, making actions, and analyzing, getting results. So kind of simple in words, and that's what usually we see for the yoga students. They come to learn. And in the very beginning, they are so confident in their understanding of the first two yoga principles. But then gradually they see the level, the depth of these concepts that in some time they say, oh wow, I couldn't even guess that this thing could be that deep. And there could be so many versions of it, looking from which side we will look at them. So that's why we need yoga principles, and we kind of need this foundation for for improvement in our life, increasing the level of success and the happiness and the joy. And of course decreasing some troubles that might happen on the way. Thereby we are very attentive what we see, what we listen, what we read, what people we contact with, because the more they are on our dharma, the more we get kind of on the right way. However, there are people who will like our attention, our company, but still bringing us away from our dharma. So we will step aside from our way, taking small paths, hoping to make kind of fun way around. But yeah, either it's going to take a very long time and you will still have to return to the point where you started, having fun that is not on your way of duty or dharma. However, fun, it's a good side. It doesn't mean that you have to be all those serious and all the time kind of just thinking about the supreme things, but keeping them in mind is a good thing. So when you have passed each the circle of dharma, duty, actions, results, analysis, and in the beginning and also the first and the second principle, it's like a circle. So you finish the circle and you are up for the next one. And yes, it makes you happier, more successful if you are goal-oriented and in working for the kindness and effectiveness principles. One more thing that we need to mention, that all the materials that you meet on open yoga sites, materials, videos, tests, whatever, they are supposed to follow the first two yoga principles. If it's not so, then probably the instructor has made a mistake, or there has been an error, or there has been some misunderstanding, but it has nothing to do with yoga. This is the problem probably of person explaining the topic, or the person giving the class, or some other technical issues that may happen. However, yoga stays the same. It follows the first two yoga principles. It's perfect, while we are just striving for becoming the perfect. So if you are up with me for becoming perfect, thumbs up. You have the test now to do, things to think about, and I'll see you in the next class when we'll continue this topic on.